Alright, this is my review for X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 1. Am I enjoying this? Yes, I am. I did not watch all three episodes. I know they dropped all of them one day. I am old fashioned. I like to watch one a day. Or sometimes I watch one a week. But it seems like they're going to be dropping this once a week after this first initial three episodes. So, cool. But the point is, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it way better than season one. It's not that season one wasn't good. It's just that I'm a very big fan of time travel, and I love when people talk about fate and different things like that, and how you can mess up time by messing up things, or a butterfly flaps its wing, and like you know what I mean. I just like the idea of time travel, and I like the idea of fates. Those are like my favorite type of ideas to challenge, and yeah, so that's why I love it. And X Men: Days of Future Past is like one of my favorite movies. Like it's one of my favorite movies. Like there's like so like point blank. I remember when I saw Days of Future Past. When I left the theater, I was telling my uncle because he took me to movies to see. I said, I think that's one of the best movies I've seen in like the last 10 years. Like, and I still feel that way. It's like an amazing movie, and yeah, it's like one of the best X Men movies, or just best movies ever. Like, it's perfect, and it's interesting because this first episode is called, I think it's called Days of Past Future or something like that. So I see what they did there. All I'm gonna say is I'm enjoying it, and even though I love X Men, I had no idea that Cable was um was Scott Summers' son and Jean Grey's son. I didn't know that for a long period of time. I just loved X Men and I watched it, but I guess somehow that I guess somehow that part like I forgot about until I watched season one of X Men '97. I was like, oh snap! My memory started coming back a little bit about certain things. You know what it is? Cable is such a cool character on his own and just in his own right that I forget who he's related to. I just look at Cable as just his own character. I don't look at him as someone's kid. I just like look at Cable like, yo, Cable's cool. That's how. Even in Deadpool, I was like, oh, cool, Cable. Like I didn't like put two and two together until like, you know, until I started finding out more stuff. I didn't really put two and two together, but it's just cool. I just like that this is ultimately Cable's story. You know what I mean? Like it pretty much is like his job is to defeat Apocalypse, and this is actually making me want to rewatch all the X Men movies, or at least rewatch X Men Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. I know Apocalypse some people might not think it's one of the best, but it would still be cool to go back and revisit that watching this series. The point is, animation is great, the story is great. I love so much of this show. The thing that I love about the most is the ideas that are challenging me just as an individual. But it's not really challenging me. It's challenging the characters because I know what I would do. Like for example, Scott and Jean Grey are coming to grips with should we tell him that we're his parents, and they end up telling him stuff like that. And I get what they're doing, but what if they're messing up the timeline? What if they're messing up his growth? What if he's not going to become the Cable he's supposed to be because they're not strong enough to just leave him in the future and just But the reason I think this is all gonna work out is because if you watch season one of X Men '97, Cable keeps coming back to the past to try to save them, and he said it never works. He keeps coming back. He keeps trying to stop the Genosha. What happens at Genosha? He keeps trying to stop so much stuff, and nothing is working. And then in the future, they send him to the future to protect them, but the future is not no even good as the past. And it's just interesting because sometimes people say in real life, they're like, "Oh, there's never a good time to have kids. Just have kids." You know what I mean? Like even today, people are like, "I don't know if I want to have kids." All the stuff going on in the world. Think about when there was World War II, World War One, nuclear war, all this type of stuff. They're like, "Oh, I don't know if I should have kids." Just have kids. Just have kids. Enjoy life, and take it as it goes. No one knows. But the point is, Cable is on this journey to defeat Apocalypse, and he says every time he gets close, he goes into a different timeline, whatever it may be. I don't know how this is all gonna end because if Apocalypse could just go to different timelines, how can they stop this guy? The only thing that works is that there's X Men in the past and the future. So that's how it could possibly work. Maybe they could kind of catch him at a certain point, but it's just interesting how they're gonna do the actual storyline. Like, and is Cable's life messed up now because they're moving stuff around, or was this always how Cable's life was gonna go? We don't know unless we speak to the Cable who's in the future and ask him, "Oh, how did this go?" But I don't know. It's it's all mind-boggling, but I'm here for it because I just like the ideas that they're presenting to me, and I like the kind of moral kind of quagmire that it puts you in when it's like, okay, would you help this person in this moment of time? Would you help this moment? Would you tell this person this thing that could possibly help them or save them? But you don't want to do that because if you start changing people's life, then you're literally changing everything, and this has to have some type of ramifications. Just like we have Avengers Doomsday coming. I'm not saying this is like Doomsday, but I'm saying like when this season is over, if they do everything they want to do, I feel like there should be some type of doomsday element to it. Like, how can they go to whatever time they want, save whoever they want, do all this stuff, and be all happy go lucky, and then just go about their lives and try to put all the stones back in place, like Infinity War or something? Like, something has to give. Something has to be breaking in this situation. It can't all be sunshine and rainbows. Something has to happen. Someone is gonna have to be taken out. There has to be a balance of the scales. So, because of that, I think that there has to be some big deaths or something. Like, I just feel like something, there has to be a balance, and I feel like right now there's no balance. Everyone is kind of getting what they want. They get to be with their son, they get to be able to train him, and all these different type of things. I love seeing Storm and her power. I love seeing Storm realize how truly powerful she is. That's pretty awesome to me. And there's a lot of elements I like of the show, but I want it all to make sense. Obviously, it's a show. Nothing is really real. All this is comic book stuff, but I just feel like I need some type of through line, some type of something. Like, for example, all right. So for example, I believe in Deadpool, in the movie Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine. They said someone is a central being. I forgot what it was. There was like a fulcrum. There was like a there was someone who's in all timelines who's, I forgot what it was. Some type of special person, and Wolverine was that person. Logan was that person. So what I'm trying to figure out, they should give us something that is like a rock in the timeline, something that they cannot change. Because if they could keep changing so much stuff and teeter totter like a seesaw, like, it's not gonna, for me at least, it's not gonna stick. I'm still gonna enjoy it, but my brain is gonna be like, they could just change this tomorrow, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need something finite. So that's the only kind of issue I'm having here. But I do love it, and I do want to rewatch Days of Future Past because that movie's so amazing. But I can't. But that movie's so good, I can't just watch Days of Future Past. I need to watch all the X Men and then watch Days of Future Past to have the full hitting effect of it. Um, Kind of like Infinity War or Endgame. You do want to watch it by itself, but you kind of want to just go back and watch every single movie and just go crazy because those moments just feels so good. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this too long. I want to watch episode 2, and I want to report back maybe tomorrow. So anyways, peace out. It's Deja, know the name. Spread love and light, and let's sign off with the slash.